Hey cat lovers, and welcome back to another video. We all know that cats and dogs are popular pets, but what other types of pets are common, and how do these pets rank against each other? In this video, we're going to find out just that. The stats in this video come from the American Veterinary Medical Association's most recent pet ownership and demographic sourcebook. If you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel for more cat videos. Now let's go over the top 11 most common pets in America. Number 11. Ferrets. An estimated 0.3% of US households own pet ferrets. The AVMA explains that ferrets are falling in popularity. The pet ferret population was estimated to be more than 1 million at the year end of 2006. Just 10 years later, at the year end of 2016, the pet ferret population fell to about 500,000. Ferrets are small, weasel-like mammals with long, slender bodies. They are known for being playful and having a lot of energy. Like cats, ferrets are crepuscular, which means they are most active at dawn and dusk. In the US, ferrets aren't legal everywhere. In fact, there are 2 states, California and Hawaii, where ferrets are completely illegal. While ferrets are legal in the other 48 states, cities or counties can provide stricter local laws. As a result, ferrets are illegal in New York City and Washington, D.C. According to Ethos Vet, aside from being high-maintenance pets, biting and aggression are concerns with these animals. Ferrets also tend to colonize if they run away, leading to concerns about ferrets threatening wildlife. Number 10. Livestock. An estimated 0.4% of US households own pet livestock. Examples of pet livestock include pigs, goats, and cattle. According to the BCSPCA, mini pigs in particular have become more popular in recent years. In fact, studies have found that pigs are smarter than dogs and even 3-year-old children. One fun fact is that pigs roll around in mud to use as sunscreen and keep cool. Now how smart is that? As cool as it may sound to have pet livestock, these animals are best suited for an outdoor environment. Speaking about pigs specifically, they can be very destructive and very noisy. Horse, cow, and pig manure is also known to be very smelly. Overall, these types of pets do best on a farm instead of a standard home. Number 9. Horses. An estimated 0.7% of US households own horses. The AVMA has also found that 25% of horse-owning households have 3 or more pet horses. This is a significant change because a decade earlier, over 40% of horse owners had 3 or more. As beautiful and majestic as horses are, it's important to keep in mind that a horse is not just a giant dog. Horses have vastly different needs from more common pets. For one, they require a lot of work and space. A rule of thumb is that a horse should have about 1 acre of space to move around and exercise. As for care, horses need daily grooming and their living space needs daily maintenance. Another thing to consider is that horses need companionship. That's why it's highly recommended to have at least 1 other horse to keep them company. It appears that many horse owners are following that advice because the average number of horses per owning household is 2.14. If owning a second horse isn't possible, at minimum you should have 1 other barn animal such as a goat, cow, or sheep. Number 8. Poultry. An estimated 1.1% of US households own pet poultry, up a whopping 23% since the previous study. These figures aren't too surprising because in recent years, backyard chickens in particular have become more popular. The AVMA also found that the average number of poultry per household is 11. Most people who take on the chicken coop project do so because they want fresh eggs. So if eggs are the main goal, having multiple chickens makes sense. Also, since chickens are social creatures, it's highly recommended to have multiple anyway. As appealing as chickens may seem, keeping a coop clean and maintained can be a lot of work. But if you go through a lot of eggs and don't mind the maintenance, backyard chickens might be worth considering. Not only would you get plenty of eggs, but pasture-raised eggs have higher levels of nutrients than factory-farmed eggs. Chickens are also said to be very fun creatures. Believe it or not, chickens are fairly smart and can even be taught to do tricks. Number 7. Rabbits. An estimated 1.2% of US households own rabbits, also known as bunnies. The AVMA found that rabbits are less popular than they used to be. The estimated rabbit population went from more than 6 million by the year end of 2006 to just over 2 million at the year end of 2016. Rabbits are well known for their iconic buck teeth. Interestingly, rabbits' teeth are open-rooted, which means their teeth never stopped growing. The more you know. Like cats, rabbits are generally clean animals and choose to go to the bathroom in one spot. With that said, they are easy to litter box train. This is why many rabbit owners let their hoppity friends roam free in the house. By now, you probably understand the appeal of rabbits, so why don't more people have them? Well, since rabbits are prey animals, their survival instincts are strong. This makes rabbits naturally afraid of being held. This is not to say that rabbits can't be trained to tolerate handling, however, compared to cats and dogs, it takes a lot more time and patience. Number 6. Other mammals. An estimated 1.6% of US households own other mammals. This category includes gerbils, hamsters, monkeys, etc. Although the report doesn't go into too much more detail, I think it's safe to assume that gerbils and hamsters are much more common than monkeys. After all, it's illegal to own a monkey in 19 states. As for gerbils and hamsters, it's easy to see their appeal. They're fairly independent and can entertain themselves for extended periods of time. Like many other pets, they require daily enrichment and interaction to be happy. If you want a gerbil or hamster, just keep in mind that the average lifespan for hamsters is only 1 to 2 years and gerbils is only 3 to 5. So if you want a longer living animal, these pets may not be for you. Number 5. Birds. An estimated 2.8% of US households own birds. The AVMA explains that over the past 25 years, bird ownership rates have dropped more than 50%. Note that this survey made pet birds and pet poultry two separate categories. As for pet birds, the average number of birds per household is 2.1. According to the Spruce Pets, some of the most common pet birds are parakeets, cockatiels, finches, lovebirds, and so on. Birds can make wonderful companions. Not only are they beautiful and fun, but are often very intelligent too. While many bird owners are passionate about their feathered friends, they'll be the first to tell you that birds aren't for everyone. For one, birds can be very noisy, with some being downright irritating. Another potential drawback is that birds aren't domesticated like cats and dogs. As a result, birds require a lot of consistent socialization to be handled. Finally, while the life expectancy of a bird greatly varies, some recorded lifespans range from 20 years to more than 100 years. Such a big lifetime commitment isn't something to take lightly. Number 4. Reptiles. An estimated 2.9% of US households own reptiles, up 17% since the previous study. The average number of reptiles per household is 1.6. There's no denying that turtles, snakes, lizards, and other reptiles are relatively low-maintenance animals. While reptiles still need regular care, their needs aren't as demanding as other pets like cats or dogs. As long as your reptile has food, water, and a clean, comfy cage, that's most of their care right there. Reptiles are also quiet, making them a great option for people living in apartments or other spaces where noise must be kept to a minimum. Like any other type of pet, reptiles aren't for everyone. If you want a pet to cuddle, then scales or shells aren't for you. Also, if you are a squeamish person, take caution because many reptiles eat insects or rodents. However, if those aspects don't bother you, maybe a cold-blooded friend is worth considering. Number 3. Fish. An estimated 8.3% of US households own fish, which is an increase of 2% from the previous study. The average number of fish per household is about 7. According to Pets WebMD, betta fish and goldfish are the most popular types of pet fish. Not only are fish beautiful and quiet, but they also are easy to care for. Their two biggest needs are food and a clean aquarium. Fish are also perfect pets for people who work long hours or simply don't have space for more common animals. Setting up and maintaining an aquarium can also be a lot of fun for those who love creativity. There are countless ways to decorate a fish tank. Believe it or not, fish tanks can also be therapeutic. Studies have found that watching fish can lower stress levels and blood pressure. Interestingly, fish tanks may also help Alzheimer's patients. Purdue University researchers found that patients who were exposed to fish tanks were more relaxed and alert. These Alzheimer's patients also ate up to 21% more food than they had before the fish tanks were introduced. Number 2. Cats. An estimated 25% of US households own cats, which is about 1 in 4 homes. Needless to say, 25% is a huge jump from all the other pets we've listed so far. The AVMA also found that 76% of cat-owning households consider their cats as family members, while 20% consider them as companions. Only 3% of cat owners viewed them as property under their care. Once you learn about cats, it's easy to see the appeal. Compared to other pets, cats are fairly low maintenance. Most cats rarely, if ever, need baths. Instead, they stay relatively clean from self-grooming. Cats do need regular brushing to keep their fur shiny and healthy, but that's simple enough. Cats are also easy to litter box train because their natural instinct is to bury their business. While cats are fairly independent, they still desire plenty of attention and playtime. Many cat lovers consider this a great balance. Number 1. Dogs. As much as we love cats, their canine counterparts overwhelmingly won the number 1 spot for the most common pet in the United States. An estimated 38.4% of US households own dogs, which is an increase of 5.2% from the previous study. The average number of dogs per household is 1.6. As for more interesting stats, 51.3% of dogs were mixed breed and 48.7% were purebred. There's a reason why dogs are known as man's best friend. Dogs can be incredibly fun and loyal companions. Depending on what type of companionship you're looking for, there are lap dogs, athletic dogs, and dogs in between both lifestyles. As with every other pet on this list, dogs aren't ideal for everyone. First, they can require quite a bit of effort to train. Dogs also tend to be more needy than other animals. However, depending on your personality and lifestyle, a dog might just be the perfect pet for you. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up because it helps other cat lovers find our content. And as always, we would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next Catterday for another video.